Good mythical morning, Sedona. This is Infinite Destinations, and I never thought I'd say this, but I'm about to take you on a wild ride through Sedona, Arizona. You know, when most people think of Sedona, they picture red rocks, spiritual vortexes, and enough crystal shops to make a geologist cry. But let me tell you folks, there's so much more to this desert wonderland than meets the third eye. So, strap in, grab your chakra-aligning crystals, and maybe a bottle of sunscreen, because things are about to get hot, weird, and hilarious. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the vortex in the desert. Sedona is known for its energy vortexes, which are supposed to be swirling centers of spiritual power. Okay folks, let's dive into the spiritual side of Sedona, starting with the Chapel of the Holy Cross. Now this place is a real gem, if you can find it, that is. The GPS kept telling me to turn left at the big red rock, which in Sedona is about as helpful as telling someone in New York to turn right at the tall building. But once you finally make it there, prepare for a parking situation that'll test your faith. I swear I saw people praying for a spot to open up. And let me tell you, those prayers were answered. Right after I left, of course. Now, let's talk about the chapel itself. It's a stunning piece of architecture, jutting out from the red rocks like a giant concrete arrow pointing to heaven. All right, mythical beasts, let's leave the spiritual realm behind and dive into Sedona's natural wonders. Literally, in the case of Slide Rock State Park. Now, Slide Rock is exactly what it sounds like, a giant slippery rock that people slide down. It's like nature's version of a water park, minus the chlorine and plus a whole lot of algae. I decided to give it a go, and let me tell you, it's all fun and games until you realize your swim trunks are now lodged in places they really shouldn't be. It's like the rock is trying to give you the world's most aggressive wedgie. But hey, at least it's refreshing, right? Just be prepared for some unexpected encounters with the local wildlife. And by wildlife, I mean the guy who thought it was a good idea to wear a Speedo. Some things, once seen, cannot be unseen. All right, folks, let's take a break from nature's wild ride and dive into Sedona's artsy side. First stop, Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village. Now try saying that 3 times fast after a margarita. This place is like if a Spanish village and an art gallery had a baby, and that baby grew up to be really, really expensive. Seriously, I saw a painting that cost more than my car and my house combined. But hey, who needs a retirement fund when you can have a life-size copper sculpture of a coyote, right? Navigating Tlaquepaque is an adventure in itself. The layout is about as straightforward as a politician's answer, which is to say, not at all. I swear, I walked in circles for an hour before realizing I was just going around the same fountain. But on the bright side, I got really familiar with that fountain.
Alright, mythical beasts, we're in the home stretch of our Sedona adventure, and what better way to wind down than with a nice, relaxing train ride? Enter the Verde Canyon Railroad. Now, when I say relaxing, I mean slower than a snail on tranquilizers. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? The train chugs along at a pace that makes you wonder if you could walk faster. Spoiler alert, you probably could, but then you'd miss out on the exciting onboard entertainment like, watching the scenery go by. Very slowly, but wait, there's more. The railroad promises wildlife sightings, and boy, do they deliver. I saw a squirrel, and a bird, and another bird that might have been the same bird as before, I'm not sure. It was moving faster than the train, so it was hard to tell. Well folks, we've reached the end of our whirlwind tour of Sedona, and what a ride it's been. From spiritual vortexes that may or may not be real to natural water slides that double as nature's wedgie machine, we've seen it all. We've faced our fears on Devil's Bridge, gotten lost in the labyrinth of Tlaquepaque, and possibly communed with spirits in Jerome, though that might have just been the wine talking. Speaking of which, who knew the desert could produce such delicious grapes? Certainly not my liver. But here's the thing about Sedona, it's a place that defies expectations. Sure, it's got its quirks, like enough crystal shops to rebuild the Fortress of Solitude, and more energy than a case of Red Bull, but it's also got some of the most breathtaking scenery you'll ever see. So, whether you're a spiritual seeker, an adventure junkie, or just someone who enjoys a good laugh and maybe a good wine, Sedona's got something for you. Just remember to bring your sense of humor, a good pair of hiking boots, and maybe a helmet. You know, just in case those vortexes really do start swirling. And hey, if you see a guy stumbling out of a winery or stuck in a Tlacopac fountain, give him a hand, will ya? It might be me. So, until next time, keep it mythical, Sedona.